together, then. It's time to find out who we are, once and for all.
Yeah, sorry. I would play the music for you, but Square Enix are a bunch of assholes and copyright claim everything ever.
Show yourself, Ifrit.
But let me give you a bit of context to this scene, because it's the context that makes it so epic. Right. So, long story short, as they'd say in the mythical country of England, the story of Final Fantasy XVI, after a bit of setup, begins with the awakening of the protagonist's brother Joshua to his power to summon the almighty flames of the Phoenix. This happened rather unexpectedly because the king of Rosaria, where his two sons Joshua and the protagonist Clive are from, went to this place here to do a special little ceremony to awaken these powers, because there's a nation off the west coast of Rosaria that want to kill everyone, and so they need the Phoenix to fight back. But they didn't get to properly summon the Phoenix because a bunch of soldiers from the Empire of Sombrek invaded the night before they were planning on doing it, and they started killing everyone. Joshua got shit scared and transformed into the Phoenix, and because he's a little kid and didn't know what he was doing, everyone was really nervous, although the king of Rosaria wasn't too worried, mostly because he got his head cut off. Clive, worried for his brother, fights Piccolo if he was a Final Fantasy character, then shortly afterwards tries to rush to his brother's side. But suddenly he sees the man on fire from the Phantom Pain and crashes out so hard because he's one of those Metal Gear fans that says the last good one was 4, and suddenly from his fiery rage appears the second icon of fire, Ifrit. Now, the icons, spelled this way, are all iconic, no pun intended, Final Fantasy summons like Shiva or Titan. In the context of this world, they're basically gods, and certain people within this world are chosen to possess their powers. These people are known as dominants. The icons tend to pick people of certain lineages or certain regions, so the last Phoenix was Clive's unknown granddad who passed away, which caused the Phoenix to search for a new host. The icons also appeared periodically throughout the region of Valisthea, which is where this game is set. So at this point in the story, it wasn't too long ago that some Norwegian-sounding dude named Barnabas showed up from some far-off land and started absolutely fucking people up. Then he decided to show off and reveal to the Valistheans the icon of darkness, Odin. So basically, an icon showing up out of nowhere isn't impossible, but not very common. But back to our current conflict. Even though there's only one icon per element, Ifrit's clearly got a bunch of fire surrounding him, so he presumably is another icon of fire. And I guess he thought it was a bit of a Highlander situation where there can only be one, and so he decided the best course of action was to absolutely fucking destroy this child and break his little bird neck and blow him up, which created a crater this big, by the way. Clive witnesses the whole thing, and unable to stop this Ifrit now, he vows that for the rest of his life he would hunt down whoever this hooded man was that presumably spawned Ifrit and kill the C-word for murdering his brother. Skipping past a lot of great characters, character development, music, gameplay, and environments, we now cut to many years later when Clive hears rumours of some dominant of fire at some castle. And considering one of those dominants was his dead as shit brother, and the other was potentially this hooded figure he saw that night who potentially summoned Ifrit, Clive heads to this castle with the best character in video game history, Sid, to find this hooded man. A fun level ensues with cool-ass music, and it ends with Clive wombo-comboing this poor innocent blonde woman with his beautiful dog Torgal. Unfortunately, that blonde woman was a bit cray-cray, and she transforms into the icon of wind, Garuda, from Final Fantasy XV, which to those that don't know, that's a very funny joke by me. Against the Wind, the Eye of the Tempest is the name of the song I can't play. But it's within this tempest that Clive sees the hooded dude again. But he's suddenly interrupted by Garuda, who provokes Clive by saying she didn't actually mind the twin snakes that much. And this throws Clive into such a rage that it coincidentally summoned Ifrit once again, and yeah, look, it's not actually supposed to be a secret from the player that Clive is the dominant of Ifrit, but boy oh boy, this is the first time you can control Ifrit, and you absolutely eviscerate this poor girl that just played the twin snakes because she didn't have a PlayStation. Like, come on, man. Well, after the fight, Clive, still oblivious to the thing that's obvious to the player, and that's intentional, it's part of the story, and it's well done, I promise. Clive, alongside his dominant, if you know what I mean, Jill, return to the scene of Joshua's death, as Clive believes he can find some answers here. You then go through a short level where at the end of it, Clive hears someone say that the first Metal Gear game was on the PlayStation, and against his will, he is lost in thoughts, all alone. He was the ocean's grey waves, destined to seek life beyond the shore, just out of reach. 12 people are going to know what the fuck I'm saying. But it is within this memory-scape of Clive's where he once again lays eyes on Ifrit. Here at the same place he fought Kazuya that one time, and less importantly where his brother was brutally murdered. Clive, witnessing this murder yet again, realizes that all along, it was him. He was the one who killed Joshua. He begins to have a little introspection, and in his heart speaks with his younger self, the same younger self, who has never truly been able to face the truth of what happened that night. But the first step to acceptance is to fight Ifrit, because that's what happens in Final Fantasy VIII at least. Clive defeats Ifrit, and suddenly where Ifrit once stood, a fiery explosion reveals Clive's dark inner self. As if the symbolism wasn't loud enough, Clive must defeat this dark inner self in order to proudly take the next step of acceptance. Then you do a fucking sick as shit boss fight. It's so cool, amazing with the actual music. So what you should do is all of you go and experience this yourself by playing Final Fantasy XVI, and then you'll be like, oh wow, what an amazing game. And if any of you complain about cutscenes being too long, don't tell Clive the Metal Gear Solid is like 95% cutscenes or else he'll crash out. Anyway, thank you to those that have stayed this far into the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I wouldn't do an outro like this normally, but I kind of wanted to do more short videos like this where I describe some of the hardest moments in video game history. I've got a long list of cool ideas of moments to talk about that I've written down, but I thought to just start with a game that changed my life forever, because the whole thing goes absurdly hard. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and get ready for the next time I do one of these, which I promise won't take me 4 months to do. It'll just take me 5 months.